entirely back now. Ugh. And internet decided to just freaking restart. So yeah, I don't know how much we missed. They were just talking about the different brochures and stuff. And then I was in the middle of talking about, for some reason, I was thinking, when they mentioned Spagonia, I was thinking 06, not Unleashed. And I haven't done much with Unleashed, so that would be why. I have, actually. If you're ever visiting, be sure to stop by the university and say hi to Professor Pickle. Okay, that might have tipped me off without actually looking it up. So I was like, what game is it? He'll tell you everything about the area, and it makes one scrumptious sandwich. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. This group knows everyone and has been everywhere, haven't they? Oh, wait. Have I moved? I could also just be miss. What's this bright red book? Oh, yuck. This reeks of the evil Dr. Scientist. What? The evil Dr. Scientist? The evil scientist Dr. Eggman. Yep, this is Dr. Eggman's autobiography and recipe book. What kind of recipes? Who cares? I wouldn't trust any book he's written. It's weird that it's even here. Maybe people just appreciate an omelet. You may not be wrong. Oh, poor thing. That arm is really struggling to clean up this car. To be fair, I wouldn't want to clean up all this mess either. It's just to leave it alone to do its thing. Yeah, probably for the best. Hable. Let's just take a pause and sit for a second. These chairs are very comfy, so plush. Puts me right in the mood to read. Makes me want to take a nap, personally. In fact, maybe I'll rest my eyes a bit. Yeah, you know, don't fall asleep. There's been a murder, remember? If I had a ring for every time a murder ruined my nap time. Anything else outside of the characters themselves? Book of the month, Gone Gal. Kiosk Cola, okay. Shadow supposedly walked through the library car before going to the saloon car. When Shadow left the library car, he locked his door on the way out. There's gotta be a reason he's doing this. Should we make a note of it? Yeah, I do believe we should. Shadow's lock, okay. That actually everything? Oh wait. There we go. Wait, is that Pickle? I think that's Pickle. Wow, I wish I could stop and look at all these books. But Sonic needs me. No time to rest. Alright, let's move on then. Well, I mean, a little peek wouldn't hurt. He's scavenging through all the book titles excitedly. It's like a kid in a candy shop, or in this case, a genius in a train library. That's odd. Most of the books have fallen on the floor and everything, but every book on these shelves is in an alphabetical order. But this one. It's the User's Guide to the Mirage Express, the train we're currently on. Who would read that? Who? Rouge? Maybe Rouge. Do you think someone found it on the ground and put it back? Maybe, but it's interesting. Let's make a note of this. I think we found enough clues. Let's go interrogate Vector and SBO to find out what really happened. Did you bring me any meat to chop? Maybe a butcher, but they confiscated my meat cleaver before getting on the train. You actually tried to bring a knife on the train? I'm a man of authenticity, Tails. Without a knife, I'm just a chef in a ketchup-stained apron, not a butcher. I think if you had a knife on there, we definitely think you were the murderer. But what if I hid the knife? You know, I'm not the biggest fan of this line of thought. Can I take your order? So, the two of you don't believe us, eh? It's not that I don't trust either of you, but I wouldn't be a proper detective without examining the validity of your alibis. Yanni and I are here to confirm two things. Why Vector left to go play games with Knuckles, and if Espio really was reading in the library card. Vector, we'll start with you. Why did you leave the library card to visit Knuckles? We're prepared to present the evidence if need. Oh, that's easy. I got bored. What? I wasn't entertaining him enough, it seems. Vector enjoys being social. Plus, we're instructed to mingle. Remember the arcade machine in the saloon car? So I figured I'd check it out. This seems to line up with the information we gathered with Knuckles. And that brings our attention to you, Espio. Reaching into the library car, found something, then left. You said you immediately started reading, but you were actually reading the entire time you were in the library? Oh, but were you actually reading the entire time you were in the library? Of course he was. How would you know, Vector? Once Espio starts reading, he doesn't stop till it's done. I've seen it happen. It must have been a good read. What was the book? Espio doesn't owe you that, detective. Let the man live. What if it was embarrassing? What kind of things do you think I read? If you won't talk, I have a hunch on what book that might be. Yunion, could you help me out? Alright, Yunion, what book do you think Espio might have been reading? Bop. A manual? You think Espio is reading instructions. What argument could you possibly have to support this? There are books scattered around the floor for sure, but the remaining books on the shelves were all in alphabetical order. All except this manual, meaning someone, at the very least, picked up the manual and put it back in the incorrect place. This lack of attention to detail isn't normally like you, Espio. Hey now, I want you having insulting my pal like that. Calm down, Vector. I know you mean well, but I can handle myself. Apologies, Espio. A butcher and a poet. Friendship can form anywhere. That is indeed the book I was reading, the Mirage Express manual. Trains are cool. Caboose would like you. Paste this once again. There we go. Stops being dumb. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions about the manual. Yunion, if you don't mind. You ask Espio some questions about the manual. Just flip to a page and ask away. Oh, I see. Quiz Espio about the manual to prove he read it. Which page should I quiz him on? 97. Okay, what efficient and extremely accurate technology was installed to help assist in keeping the trains spotless? Robotic arms. During events, they can perform a variety of tasks and are responsible for cleaning up trash and messes afterward. Remember the conductor can say that the train clean itself. I have a feeling the train company didn't want to hire any janitors. Robotic arms can also detect weapons or explosives being brought onto the train, ensuring passenger safety. Seems like Espio aced that question. Yunion, him with another one. This one. What's the Mirage Express's cancellation policy? No refunds and you will be charged a no-show fee. This does not apply if you're over the age of 65. Jeez. The person who made this rule must have been over 65. Last one, Union. See if Espio can go 3 for 3. Gotcha. What page should I pick last? 56. What was the implementation to support the conductor's duty and ease train general? What was implemented to support the conductor's duties and ease general train obligations? An intelligent data processing system. It works in tandem with the conductor to assure smooth travel for guests. I remember this. The train has an autopilot, but it can't access the full suite of capabilities without the conductor present. Now, did I pass your little test? Totally. It's wild you're able to retain all this information so quickly. A poet's brain is often surprising. I don't know if I'd be bragging about that. You've clearly read the manual, but those answers feel far too specific to be guesses. And you both had the nerve to ask questions to my buddy like that. Don't we want to be supporting folks who read? You have to admit though, reading the entire time a murder occurred does sound a bit suspicious, even if true. But he answered all my questions so calmly. That's very impressive. No. I understand everyone's cautious attitudes. Vector was the only one to see me reading after all. My alibi is hard to sustain despite being the truth. Or substantiate despite being the truth. Well, you definitely read through the manual, so I suppose we can... Espio, is that true? Vector was the only one to see you reading? Yes, that's correct. Problem? Frankly, I don't believe that can be true. We have evidence to back it up. Yunyan? He always puts me on the spot. Okay, link to someone who also saw Espio reading, but what? Oh, the Shadow Lock? Shadow's Lock? Please, pray tell. What this has to do with anything. We're up, Yunyan. Let's get our argument together. There we go. Woo! Shadow walked through the library car to get the saloon car where he set the original high score on the arcade machine. Yeah, but I ended up beating it. It wasn't the high score long. Rocks are natural gamers. Espio said he saw Shadow enter the library car, but he's mentioned nothing about Shadow's return. He only mentioned that Vector came back. When Shadow left, Knuckles and Vector in the saloon car, Espio was fully seated reading his book for a good while at this point. We know Shadow had to walk back through the library car when he left the saloon car. So there's absolutely no way Shadow and Espio didn't notice one another on Shadow's return trip. I mean, it was a simple slip-up. I was just fully immersed in my book that I didn't notice Shadow. Espio would make sense, but I don't know if it is actually going to be him. You're telling me the sound of doors opening and locking wouldn't have caused you to look up? Well, you see, since Espio's desperation here, defending the argument that he was reading the entire time isn't easy. So if you didn't see Shadow returning from the saloon car to lock all the doors, then at that moment were you really in the library car at all? But how would Espio leave? Shadow locked up all the doors and no one saw Espio in the saloon car. It's a mystery, my dear Yunyan. One that I would love for SPO to solve. You gotta believe me. That cool demeanor is vanishing. I was so involved with my book, I didn't notice Shadow passed back through the library car. Honest. When Vector returned, he even had to tap on me on the shoulder to get my attention. Yeah, I think I remember doing that. Do you really? I must avenge my friend's death. So I'll ask you again, SVO. If you weren't there for Shadow to see you reading, then how did you leave the library car? I didn't. Why doesn't this seem right to me? Tails definitely feels like he's onto something, but I don't see it. Was SPO simply sitting reading, or did he somehow vanish to not notice Shadow's return to the library car? What should I do? No, I can't interrupt Tails while he's on to something. I'll let him continue his line questioning and... What? I have to make sure I guess to take the Arabs. I have to speak up. Tails. We have a piece of evidence that we can answer all of our problems. Alright, my fellow associate, lay it on me. What piece of evidence shows Shadow and SPO couldn't have seen one another? The library map? That's the only thing that makes sense. Alright, now let me get my thoughts in order. Dang it! Ah, I'm one short. There we go, there we go, there we go. There we go. Also nice. The library map? Oh, I see. See the exits? They're right across from one another and a straight path. If Shadow walked down the straight path, there's a way SBO and Shadow couldn't have seen one another. Looks like you'll point out where exactly on the map that you mean. Where could SBO have been for Shadow not to see him? Interesting. That's where I was sitting reading my book. I could second this. When I returned from the saloon, SBO was in the same spot. That confirms it then. You see, Shadow and SBO couldn't have seen one another from this spot, because a bookcase is in the way. There's no way Shadow could have seen SBO, or vice versa. It makes a lot of sense whenever you never mention Shadow's return, SBO. There's just no way you would have seen him. I apologize for losing my cool back there. I felt like I was grasping, despite telling the truth. But I'm glad you all believe me now. Your alibi isn't the most airtight, but I have no further points. Thank you both for answering all of our questions. We did it! Another pair of alibis validated. Woo! Too many locked doors to worry about, but I'm glad everything straightened itself out in the end. Well, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna crash here for a bit. These chairs are so comfy. Likewise, I could use a breather. Ooh. Sadly, our work isn't done. I have plenty of questions for Rouge and especially Shadow. Oh, it seems the door in the next car is open. Amy must have kept it open when she passed through earlier. Then that's our cue to leave. See you later, Vector and Espio. Give 'em heck. And if you need any meat chopped up, say the word. I'll keep my poetry sharp for you both. A murderer. I can't say this with a straight face. God damn it. A murderer is on the loose, while doors keep getting locked. Tick, tick, tock goes the clock, while our heroes are in the caboose. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in our detective abilities. We're really doing this. Come on, Yun-Yun. Let's see what's next. Coming! You sure you don't want to stay and look at all the great books a little longer? Actually, you can never spend too much time in a library. This is a good point to save. And quit for tonight because I have to leave early. So I don't have time. So instead of trying to do a partial. So yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow for whatever we decide to end up doing. Oh, so yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow for that. Next week, I don't. I may do this. I may do something else. We'll have to see next week. So for the next month, my non-collab streams could be are going to be iffy because Ducky's going to be down any day now. So there may be days that I just forget to do it because yeah, I'm doing stuff with him. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. This is your captain,